What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to the White Report. Today I will be doing an NBA mock draft. You may see some surprise picks as I will be choosing players based on team needs rather than the best player available. With that being said, guys, let's go to the first overall pick. Will be made by the Timberwolves and they choose Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards can be slided into the 2 position. You can play him on the shooting guard right alongside D'Angelo Russell, and they'll make for a really good backcourt. The second overall pick will be made by the Warriors and they choose James Wiseman, who can play the center position, which is what the Warriors need. He can also get you a lot of rebounds, which fits in perfectly with how the Warriors play. The third pick will be made by the Hornets. They will choose LaMelo Ball. Although the Hornets do have Terry Rozier and Devontae Graham in the backcourt, they can move one of them to the bench, and LaMelo can play at the shooting guard or the point guard position. The fourth pick will be made by the Bulls, who are looking for a point guard, and they will get that in Tyrese Haliburton. He is a great passer. He is a great three-point shooter, and I think him and Zach LaVine will play really well together. With the fifth pick will be made by the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are going to get Obi Toppin at the fifth pick. Obi Toppin is a great front court scorer for them. He'll get you a lot of points, and that's just what they need right now. The sixth pick will be made by the Hawks, and he is Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes is a point guard. They are going to pair up with Trae Young. The Hawks are looking for a point guard they can pair up with Trae Young, and Killian Hayes fits that bill. He's a great passer, and he can also shoot the three ball really well. The seventh pick will be made by the Pistons, and they will choose Denny Avdia. The Pistons are somewhat surprised that Denny Avdia fell this far, so they will choose him. They need any sort of talent they can get right now. They are looking for a point guard as well, but they may get that in Fred VanVleet, who they may pursue in the free agency. So Denny Avdia is a forward they will draft. Eighth pick is made by the Knicks, and it is Patrick Williams, who's a small forward, and yes, a power forward who the Knicks seem to love. All jokes aside, guys, Patrick Williams is a great defender, and I think he'll really excel in the Knicks system because no one really plays defense there. Ninth pick will be made by the Wizards, who also need a defensive player, and they get that in Onyeka Okongwu. Onyeka Okongwu is a big man who can get them rebounds, and he'll play great defense, and he'll also get you a lot of blocks as well. The 10th pick is made by the Suns, who will draft Aaron Nesmith. Aaron Nesmith can get you a lot of points, and he can also shoot amazing from the three-point line, as you can see, guys. They did just lose Kelly Oubre in the Chris Paul trade, so I think they can potentially use him at the small forward position. The 11th pick will be made by the Spurs, and they will draft Isaiah Okoro, who can play small forward for them. They do have DeMar DeRozan, who plays the 2-3 spot sometimes, but there are rumors they may trade him, and they probably will lose him if they don't trade him in next year's free agency. So they can draft Isaiah Okoro, who's a great defensive player, and they can develop him. 12th pick will be made by the Kings, and they will draft Devin Vassell. He is a great three-point shooter, and the Kings might be looking to trade Buddy Hield, who is not happy with their head coach, so they can potentially use Devin Vassell to replace Buddy Hield. The 13th pick will be made by the Pelicans, and they will choose Kira Lewis Jr. The Pelicans are trying to trade Jrue Holiday, and they could use Kira Lewis Jr. in the backcourt, pair him up with Lonzo Ball. He's a great three-point shooter. He can also pass as well, so I think they'll play well with each other. The 14th pick will be made by the Celtics, who are in dire need of a big man, and they will get that in Precious Achiuwa, who's a great rebounder and fits the bill of everything the Celtics look for. 15th pick will be made by the Magic, and they're looking for scoring, and they're looking for a point guard or any sort of guard, and they get that in Tyrese Maxey, who's a guard who can score a lot. The Magic have a lot of trouble scoring, and Tyrese Max will help them score some points there. 16th pick will be made by the Trailblazers, and I really like this pick for them because they get Sadiq Bey. I really like this guy because he can defend, he can shoot, he can get you points, so they can use him to play the small forward position, and they can let Carmelo Anthony go. The 17th pick will be made by the Timberwolves. Somewhat of a surprise, Cole Anthony. They already have 2 really solid backcourt players, but Cole Anthony will come off the bench for them, and he can provide a lot of scoring as a 6-man. 18th pick will be made by the Mavericks. Jalen Smith, you can pair him up with Porzingis, who can stretch the floor. He can get you a lot of rebounds, so I think he'll be a really good fit with the Mavericks. The 19th pick will be Aleksej Pokusevski. They don't really need a player right now, guys. Their roster is pretty well structured with KD, Kyrie, and a bunch of other really good players. They can draft him and just leave him in Europe for a few years, and then when they do need him, they can bring him over. 20th pick will be made by the Miami Heat. Miami Heat do need a big man, they were saying, to pair along Bam Adebayo. Vernon Carey Jr. will be that. Vernon Carey Jr. plays a little bit old style basketball, but he does get you rebounds. And as we saw in the finals, guys, as good as Bam is, he struggled a bit against Dwight Howard. So they could definitely use a big body besides Bam Adebayo. 21st pick will be made by the 76ers, and yes, they decide to draft Desmond Bane, who is a solid three-point shooter. As we know, guys, the 76ers need spacing, and this is the perfect pick for them. 22nd pick will be made by the Nuggets, and they will select Zeke Nagy. Zeke Nagy fits the bill because they may potentially lose Paul Millsap and Mason Plumlee. They could bring him off the bench or play him with Nikola because Nikola Jokic can shoot the three. Zeke Nagy is a high motor guy. He has a decent mid-range game, so again, that may or may not work with Nikola Jokic. We'll just have to wait and see. The 23rd pick will be by the Jazz, and they'll be surprised that R.J. Hampton fell so far, so they will choose him because they might lose Jordan Clarkson. They're trying to trade Mike Conley, so R.J. Hampton has a lot of potential. They're not going to pass up on him. 24th pick will be made by the Bucks, and they are looking to trade Eric Bledsoe, so they will draft another point guard, Malachi Flynn. Malachi Flynn is a player who can come in and contribute right away. He's a good defensive player. He fits what the Bucks are. They're a good defensive team, and he can shoot lights out. He can also take it to the hoop, so I think he'll complement Giannis's game really well. 25th pick will be made by the Thunder, and again, they'll be kind of surprised to get Theo Maledon at the 25th pick. They will draft him because they have a million draft picks right now, and Theo Maledon does have a lot of potential. 26th pick will be made by will be made by the Celtics, and they'll choose Jaden McDaniel, power forward. Again, guys, the Celtics are loaded all around. They don't really need any players, but assuming they keep all their picks, they will draft a power forward they can use off the bench. The 27th pick will be made by the Knicks, and they will choose Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart is a player they are rumored to be very interested in. He's a big man, high energy guy who can get you rebounds, and that is someone the Knicks will draft. 28th pick will be made by the Thunder. Again, guys, like we said, they have a million draft picks, and they're just drafting for talent right now. And they will draft Josh Green, who's a great defensive player. He's a forward, so again, guys, they're just going to draft as many players as they can, it looks like. 29th pick will be made by the Raptors. They'll choose Xavier Tillman. The Raptors were one of the first teams to contact Xavier Tillman. He's a good defensive big. He'll get you rebounds. He's also a good passer, so they can use him to replace Ibaka and Gasol. The 30th pick will be made by the Celtics again. They're going to use him. They're going to draft Leandro Balmaro to draft him and stash him away in Europe. And he does have a lot of potential, but they don't really need any more young players on their roster. All right, guys, this is it for the draft. Thank you so much for watching. If you like, please subscribe, like the video, comment. Let me know what you guys think of this. Thank you.